ES Audio.
What's up, guys? I'm John Weeks, and this is Tech and Science Daily. Coming up, will we see flying cars in our lifetime? But first, Black Friday is here, and with the promise of cheap, limited-time deals online comes the usual warnings about scams and keeping your personal information safe.
You don't have to use your email address, for example. I use a burner one for shopping, particularly just for that, just in case the site that I'm using one day gets hacked. They won't have my personal email address, they'll have the one that I use for my shopping.
Jake Moore is a global cybersecurity advisor at ESET, and he's been giving advice on how to avoid getting caught out by scammers. He told us it's important to change the default passwords on smart Internet of Things tech, which connects to your Wi-Fi at home.
You've got cybercriminals just scouring the internet looking for open devices, and if they get through to your home network via your smart technology, such as your dishwasher or toaster or whatever it might be, then they could be able to get into your sensitive data, which might be on your laptop or so.
As part of the scams awareness around Black Friday, the Met Police revealed they carried out the UK's biggest fraud sting, called Operation Elaborate, taking down a spoofing site used by criminals to scam around 200,000 victims. They did it using a type of malware to track the criminal activity, and Jake said it's an impressive feat.
And this seems to be a very interesting way that the police have used incredible techniques that usually we associate with criminals to actually get into the network, disrupt them, and bring them down.
The CEO of a tech firm developing lightweight, powerful electric motors for aircraft says the prospect of futuristic flying cars whizzing around our cities is a realistic one.
It's predicted in some forecasts that by 2050 you could have over 160,000 of these air taxis flying around, delivering a completely new mode of transport that just really doesn't exist today. And it's really enabled by electrification, and it's zero emissions. It's a very green type of transportation.
Chris Harris from Evolito wants to fast-track the adoption of electric flight and told us about the motors they've developed.
Our motors are typically something that would have the power of something like a very high premium Mercedes or BMW vehicle, sort of 300-400 brake horsepower, but actually you can lift it up in your hands. So it's very, very lightweight, under 10 kilograms.
And he gave us an idea of what these futuristic flying taxis could actually look like.
On these aircraft, you'll have typically 8 of these propulsion systems. So you'll have our motors sitting behind the propellers, and there'll be 8 of those around the aircraft. 6 will be used to lift the aircraft, and 2 will typically be used to provide that kind of forward motion. And you're beginning to see first prototypes coming out now.
Now, London Mayor Sadiq Khan has announced that the ultra-low emission zone will be expanded across all of Greater London next summer.
This was a tough decision. It's probably one of the toughest decisions I've made since being a politician. I've factored in a number of things, the costs of inaction versus the costs of action. Political expediency often trumps public health. In this case, it hasn't.
It means 15% of vehicles registered in the new Outer London zone will be liable for the £12.50 a day levy. But an estimated 5 million Londoners will breathe cleaner air, according to City Hall, as it's expected the ULEZ expansion will encourage more people to switch to cleaner vehicles in the suburbs. Sadiq told us it's a move designed to protect public health.
Worst 10 boroughs in London, with premature deaths from Bromley, more than 200, down to in the top 10, Redbridge and those sorts of boroughs. It's not acceptable for there to be 200 bereaved families every year.
London's mayor was speaking at the Evening Standard's Plug It In summit. Now, the UK government has announced that sharing downblouse photographs and pornographic deepfake images without consent will be made crimes under the upcoming online safety bill. The amendment to the bill means police and prosecutors will have more power to bring abusers to justice. There'll also be new laws to tackle the installation of hidden cameras to film someone without consent. Under the proposed changes, anyone who shares explicit deepfake images or videos made to look like someone without their consent could face prison. It looks like Elon Musk is set to welcome suspended accounts back to Twitter after holding a poll on the social platform. He asked his followers to vote on reinstatements for accounts that haven't broken the law or engaged in egregious spam. The yes vote was 72% and was followed by a tweet from Elon saying the people have spoken, amnesty begins next week. But some people have predicted the move will lead to more harassment and abuse on Twitter as a result. Angelo Carasone, president of the watchdog Media Matters, warned that reversing the suspensions would mean turning Twitter into a one-stop shop for harassment and an engine of radicalisation. Coming up, the Charles Darwin manuscript likely to sell for over £1 million. Why not hit follow and give us a rating during the break? Welcome back. A short letter written by Charles Darwin is expected to sell for over £1 million at auction. He wrote the note defending his theory of evolution back in 1865, so it could be copied in what was a celebrity magazine of its time called the Autographic Mirror. Unlike other rare pieces of his writing, this is signed with his full name, making it an ultra-rare piece of history. It's going on sale with Sotheby's auction house, which set the previous world record for a Darwin manuscript of £400,000, but experts expect this piece to beat that price easily. And finally, Mercedes is the latest car manufacturer to put additional features behind a yearly subscription. Its electric EQE and EQS models come with the option of an acceleration increase add-on, which boosts performance for, get this, a $1,200 yearly subscription. And what do you get for that? Well, apparently it boosts the output from the motors by 20 to 24%, increasing torque and shaving up to a second off its 0 to 60 time. It's the latest example of manufacturers charging extra for features. Just a few months ago, BMW was criticised for charging owners an $18 monthly subscription just to use their heated seats. You are up to date. Come back at 4 for the Leader podcast for the latest news and analysis from the Evening Standard. We will be back on Monday afternoon at 1 o'clock. Catch you then.